Joe King comes out on stage and says, "Hello, yes, my name's Joe King. I'm not joking, though I prefer to be called Juris Dr. King." Okay, so now eventually we're going to discuss the writer's strike more once there's some more news on that front. But right now it looks like more of the same, so instead I thought I'd tell a few jokes. Okay, now is it just me or are rainbows racist? Think about it. We should all appreciate and respect people of all colors. You know, presumably the colors of the rainbow. But I got news for you. The rainbow is missing a few key colors. A rainbow is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Where's the people of color? The rainbow doesn't include the colors black or brown. Are you kidding me? It doesn't even include white, and white people invented racism. So if you want to respect and appreciate all the people of the colors of the rainbow, you're not respecting and appreciating everybody. Red covers the Native Americans, orange covers the ginger people, yellow covers Asians for some reason. Don't look at me. I have no idea why Asians are associated with yellow. They seem more tan or beige to me. But anyway, yellow also covers the Simpsons. Green covers inexperienced people, as well as those who are envious. Blue covers depressed people, as well as some incestuous people in Kentucky. As for those who don't know, there are literally people in Kentucky with blue skin based on pigment issues from incest. Indigo merely covers two women in a folk rock band who call themselves the Indigo Girls, and violet basically just covers Grimace from McDonald's. So other than Indians, gingers, Asians, the Simpsons, the inexperienced, the envious, the depressed, incestuous people from Kentucky, the Indigo Girls, and Grimace, no one else is covered under the colors of the rainbow. That leaves off the subcontinent Indians, the blacks, Hispanics, and all those Caucasians. Caukies, if you will. Chalky Caukies. And that's a big group to leave out. So whatever you do, never try to argue for including all people of all colors together by mentioning the rainbow. That piece of shit is racist. Anyway, a couple episodes ago, we invited former President Obama on the show to discuss the splintered media landscape. Now, whether it's a good or bad thing to have a splintered media, it does lead to some interesting cognitive dissonance. For example, on April 26, 2023, the liberal magazine The Atlantic, not to be confused with the far-left tabloid The Pacific, came out with an article titled "The Coming Biden Blowout." No, they weren't talking about the 81 birthday candles on the president's next birthday cake, but instead a blowout result in the next election in 2024. They argued that the Republican plan for 2024 is already failing, and the party's leadership can see it and knows it. Why is that? Well, Trump will still skin, of course. David Frum wrote that the Republicans thought about running without Trump in 2024, but lost their nerve. Therefore, they're heading for electoral disaster again. So for the left, at least at The Atlantic, the GOP will face an electoral disaster in 2024 because Orange Man bad. Meanwhile, at the right-leaning Breitbart News, not to be confused with the far-right tabloid Dullbart, they mentioned in an article from May 27, 2023, that President Biden is currently in his second lowest approval rating of his presidency at 39%. And that's lower than what Trump's average approval rating was during his presidency, which was 41%. So what's going on? Which side is right? Well, I think they're both right when they say the other side sucks. It's basically just a matter of who will hate vote more. You know, like when you watch or listen to something you despise, except this is for the presidency of the United States. Which side is more hated and will therefore get more hate votes against them? Only time will tell. According to oddschecker.com, looking at the presidential futures, it's neck and neck with Biden at plus 200 and Trump at plus 275. So boy, oh boy, is it going to be a fun year and a half hearing two hated old men tell us why we should hate the other hated old man more than we hate him. I know you were probably expecting more of a punchline there, but there's no way you can top the joke that is America's current political climate. Joe King walks off stage and onto another stage and sits in a seat behind the desk and says, "Please welcome to the program one of the funniest comedians of all time and Saturday Night Alive star, Norm Macdonald." Norm Macdonald emerges from behind a curtain and waves at the audience. Applause, applause, applause. Macdonald walks over and sits in a seat next to King's desk. "Okay, welcome to the show, Normie." Macdonald, "Thank you for having me." "Okay, now, Normie, I gotta say, this is pretty exciting for the Joe King Show to have you on as a guest, as you were known in your career to be one of the more entertaining talk show guests." Macdonald, "Is that right?" King, "Yeah." Macdonald, "Well, I hope I don't disappoint this dead studio audience, but I got nothing." King, "What? Come on, you must have a story of some sort or a joke." Macdonald, "Okay, well, I can tell a joke." King, "Okay, let's hear it." Macdonald, "Okay, well, a moth walks into a podiatrist's office." King, "No, Normie, a new joke." Macdonald, "A new joke? You're saying you want a new joke?" King, "That's right." Macdonald, "Okay, well, I ran into Abraham Lincoln at a bar, and he told me to go to a meeting." King, "A meeting?" Macdonald, "That's right, a meeting. Now, I told Abe I didn't think I had a problem with alcohol. I just was having trouble meeting women. And he told me a meeting was a great place to meet women." King, "Uh-huh." Macdonald, "So he tells me to go to this specific meeting, held in some dingy place, So I go to this meeting, and before anything starts, there's this beautiful woman there. Her name was Roxy. And before the meeting even started, this woman came and sat next to me and asked me if I wanted to get out of there." King, "Is that right?" Macdonald, "That's right. Now, I had told Abe I had been lonely and that I hadn't had much success with women lately, and the minute I get to a meeting, this very beautiful, young, voluptuous, charismatic woman asked me if I wanted to get out of there with her." King, "So what'd you do?" Macdonald, "Well, I told her sure, So me and Roxy left, and we got into a taxi." King, "Not an Uber, huh?" Macdonald, "That's right. I still prefer taxis to that damn Uber service. So anyway, we get in the taxi, and Roxy starts putting her hands all over me." King, "Is that right?" Macdonald, "Yep. And we start kissing. And I stop for a second and I ask her, 'Where are we going?' And she tells me her place, and I'm excited, Having met this beautiful young woman, it was really my lucky day. So we're all over each other in this taxi, and we finally get to her place. And she invites me up. And as soon as we get in there, she starts pouring shots of whiskey. And I get sort of concerned, King, "And why is that?" Macdonald, "Well, we just met at a meeting. Now, I only went because I was lonely. And here I meet this woman at the meeting who presumably has a problem with alcohol. She's at the meeting. And here she's pouring shots of whiskey." King, "So what'd you do?" Macdonald, "Well, I said, 'Roxy, I don't think we should be drinking. We just met at an AA meeting after all.'" King, "And what'd she say?" Macdonald, "Well, she said, and I don't think she even knew my name. She just said, 'Buddy, that was no AA meeting. It was an NA meeting.' And so I start thinking, why did Honest Abe send me to an NA meeting after I told him I was unlucky with women? But before I could even figure that out, Roxy and I each took a shot and then had amazing sex. Now this was just incredible sex. King. Macdonald. Just really dirty, great sex. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as we finished, a man came into the room who was her boyfriend. King. Her boyfriend came in. Macdonald. That's right. And he bars right in and started yelling at Roxy that she needed help. And before I knew it, this boyfriend started laying out lines of cocaine out on the dresser. And Roxy got out of bed, and while they were still arguing about him finding her with me, they both started doing lines of cocaine. King. Okay. Macdonald. And you know, having met Roxy at an NA meeting, I felt kind of bad, you know. Like here this woman was at an NA meeting, and now here she is doing massive amounts of cocaine. And my conscience starts to take over. And I get out of bed, naked as the day I was born, and I said, Roxy, I don't think you should be snorting that cocaine. And she looks at me and asks, why the hell do you care? And I said, well, Roxy, we just met at an NA meeting after all. King. And what'd she say? Macdonald. Well, she still didn't know my name, but she said, hey, dead guy, it wasn't a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. It was a Necrophilia Anonymous meeting. So this woman had a problem with fucking dead guys. I guess that's why Abe sent me there. Okay. Wait, so when you told Honest Abe that you were having trouble with women, he sent you to a Necrophilia Anonymous meeting? Macdonald. That's right. And what can I say other than it worked real well? So for all the dead men listening in, having trouble with women, I highly recommend checking out a Necrophilia Anonymous meeting. Okay, very good. Now, Normie, what can I say other than it's been a pleasure having you on Saturday Night Alive? Macdonald, thank you. Okay, and hopefully the strike ends soon so we can get back to getting you in some sketches. Macdonald, that's right. I want the writers to get what they deserve, you know. But I also definitely want to get back to Saturday Night Alive. It's been a lot of fun. Okay, Norm Macdonald, everybody. Applause, applause, applause. Okay, that's all the time we have for this episode, but tune into the next episode where we interview another deceased guest. Until then, I'm Joe King, and I'm not joking.